Hi everybody, it's Stephen Aitchison here with another show for 30 Days of Change. This is day 13. Listen, I hope you had a brilliant weekend. I had a really relaxing weekend. It was really quite nice, just spending time with the family, mainly my wife, because my sons are older now, so they kind of do their own thing. But it was good just to kind of be in and about, kind of doing my own thing with my wife and just kind of relaxing for a wee bit. I did get some work, well I got a lot of work done actually, because I still got up early. But I had a relaxing weekend and I hope you had a really good weekend as well. And today's topic is, I've named it, your reality is based on your perception of the truth. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean by that, your reality is not the same as my reality. It's not the same as your neighbour's reality, it's not the same as your sisters, your brothers, your mothers, your fathers. Your reality is unique to you. And what makes your reality real for you is based on your beliefs. And your beliefs are based on your perception of what you believe to be true. Now, some of your beliefs you cannot prove. In fact, most of the beliefs you cannot prove for certain. So for example, let me give you an, okay, say for example, this picture behind me. What do you think about that picture behind me? What is your perception of that picture? So I'm just going to the side just now, and if you let me know what your perception is of that picture behind me. Now that is a picture painted by Cameron Gray, and he's an artist, and you can actually find him on Facebook. Just type in Cameron Gray and you'll find him on Facebook. He does some amazing artwork. I'll give you my perception. If you give me your perception just now about what you think of that painting behind me. So I know we're lagging a bit behind just now, and some people are still coming in. Some people can't open the video, but that's a wee shame. I can't do anything about that, unfortunately. Picture is made up. Inner peace says joy, which is a good one. Yes, mind, body and soul together. Melissa Serrano says mind, body and soul together. Good one. Connection with each other. That's Beth Forsyth. Energy flowing. Gabriella. Chakras says June Elizabeth Burke. Evolution says Cindy Seraphin. The universe and how we are part of it, Nicole Denby. So you can see there, I've just read out about maybe 5, 6, 7 answers there, and everybody's got a different perception of that painting behind me. Now, the reason I bought it is just because it embodies what I believe kind of spiritually, and that we are all part of the universe. Your universe is my universe, and we're all part of one big collective consciousness. That's kind of my belief. But everybody has different beliefs, and that's only on a painting. So imagine about the big topics in the world: politics, religion, your health, just everything. Imagine how everybody's perception is totally different, and your perception is based on your beliefs, and your beliefs are based on your perception of the truth. And your truth comes to you from the media, from the things you've read, from going to university, from your education, from your peers, from your teachers, from your friends, your parents, just everybody around about you. But what if there was a different type of reality? Normally we live in an objective world, whereby we say, okay, this thing happens for a reason, because somebody else did this to me, or somebody else did this and that happened. So that's objective reality. I'm just kind of breaking this down very, very loosely in a philosophical term. What if you could have a world whereby you lived in a subjective reality, whereby everything and everybody you meet, everything you see, is all based on your consciousness. Just your consciousness alone, nobody else's, because in a subjective reality, there is no other consciousness apart from yours. There is only one consciousness. What if we were to kind of stop for a second and believe that was possible, that we could live in a subjective reality, a subjective world, whereby we create every single thing around us as part of our consciousness? If you just think about that for a second, what would you do with that? Now, this is obviously talking philosophy about objective reality, subjective reality, and solipsism, etc., stuff like that. But I just want to speak about the subjective reality part of it, and maybe give you practical applications for it as well. Now, I said earlier on, your beliefs are made up from your perception of the truth, and your perception of the truth is gained from the knowledge you've gained so far. But how do you know that knowledge is actually true 100%? How do you know that knowledge is true? Definitively, you can't know that all your knowledge is 100% accurate. It's impossible to do that. So what if you relaxed everything? What if you relaxed all your beliefs and questioned every single belief you had? Every single belief about yourself. So we could speak in world kind of terms like religion and kind of politics and stuff like that, but we don't want to do that. I want to make this about you and how you could make a subjective reality based around you and how you can change your world around it as well. So subjective reality is about how you create the world. So you have to kind of break down the belief patterns that you've got just now, just so you can believe. And I'm not saying you have to do this. I'm just saying that just open your mind just to think about it and just ask the question, what if? What if everything you do in your life is manifested by you? Now, I know we're kind of touching on the law of attraction here, but what if? So me right now, you're watching me right now. What if it was you that manifested me into your life for some reason? You didn't know maybe you were going to watch today, you didn't know that I was going to be coming on today, or you just stumbled across me, or maybe you were asking the question, what is life all about? And then suddenly this video of my kind of wee face pops up and it's talking about subjective reality, and your perception is based on, or your reality is based on your perception of the truth. What if you actually manifested me because you asked a question to raise your consciousness a little bit higher? What if that were possible? What would you do with your life if that was possible? What could you change in your life if that was possible? So what are the practical applications of this for you? Not the kind of world around about it, just for you just now. If you can manage to change the beliefs about yourself, about your own subjective reality, and start to believe that actually it is you that kind of manifests everything in the world. Everything exists in the world because of you. There is only one consciousness, and that is your consciousness. So if you're the only one who's consciousness, am I really here? Can you prove that? Can you prove that I am here right now? Now you might say, well, this is live, but it's not really, because you get about a 10-second lag. So you don't know if I really truly exist in the world. But because of your objective reality, because of you think of people outside you exist and everybody else has a separate consciousness from you, then you believe I'm here talking to you live right now. If you had a subjective view of the world and a subjective reality point of view, then it is you who's created me in your life just now. Now I know this is a wee bit out there, but just bear with me, because it does have practical applications and it actually is quite good. And I'm going to give you kind of a kind of story around it as well. And as when I was kind of younger, and this is all to do, this is practicalities again, this is all to do kind of with money. When I was younger, we stayed in a place in Edinburgh called Westerhales, and it wasn't a particularly nice area. Although as a child I thought it was a brilliant area. It was full of kind of wonderful characters, amazing characters, but it was a kind of rough area when I was growing up. And we were kind of, would I say we were poor? We probably were. We had to borrow money. Well, my mum had to borrow money every year to get us Christmas presents, and as we got older we kind of begged her not to do that. But Christmas is her time, and she loved Christmas, and she loved the whole idea and just getting us excited for Christmas as well. And me and my two sisters always had a brilliant time at Christmas, but we were relatively poor. speaking. We stayed in a rough area, we were relatively poor. Now, when I grew up, as I was growing up, I had this poor consciousness. So I had a consciousness that was kind of poor. I didn't think I was ever going to have any money in my life. I didn't even know if I believed I deserved to have money in my life. Until you get older, you don't really question those kind of big beliefs. You just kind of keep going through life, working through your job, and you believe to get anywhere you have to kind of go up the ladder, you have to go to university or something like that. But when I stopped and looked at the kind of subjective reality of this, or the subjective reality of my life, then I questioned that belief of the poor money consciousness. And when I stopped to question that belief and say, actually, I don't need to be kind of always not having money, or always poor, or always living from month to month, as I had been doing for a long time. I could manifest money into my life. I could make money come to me. Now you might think, well, how do you do that? If everybody was doing that, then everybody would be rich in the world. Not necessarily, because people don't believe they can do it. When I turned it around and started believing I actually could do it, and I could manifest money in my life, and I could manifest a better life for myself, I relaxed the belief, the poor money consciousness belief, relaxed it so much that things started to happen for me. Now, there was ups and downs, as always, but I always believed I was going to be a success in one form or of another. And this, to me, what I'm doing just now, this is my success. This is me kind of being a success. To me, that's because I believe in this success, and I've got a kind of belief pattern around success and what success is. Could it be much bigger? Of course it could. Of course it could. But I believe I'm a success just now, and it's great, it's fantastic. But I'm still kind of limiting myself just now because of the beliefs that I have around myself. And there's a couple of people in the last few weeks, a couple of people said, you are a thought leader. You're a thought leader, and you have to start believing that. And I can't get my head around that. I'm just an ordinary person, just like you, who's happened to work really, really hard and believe that I can make it in the world, and believe I can leave something behind in the world, believe I can leave a message, leave a legacy behind in the world. So when I'm gone, there's still messages from my blog, from my Facebook, if Facebook's still going at the time, from my videos, on YouTube, just everywhere. There's still some part of me left to give somebody a message when I'm long gone. And if somebody can still learn from that message, that's fantastic. But I've still got that belief whereby I'm not a thought leader, I'm just an ordinary person, and I am just an ordinary person. But if you start to believe that you can have success, if you start to believe that you can be worthy of love, that you can be worthy of having money in your life, that you can be worthy of having your dream house or your dream car or the dream life or the perfect life for you, if you start to relax the belief that you're not worthy of that and start to believe that you are worthy, that's when things start to happen. And then if you bring in the subjective reality side of it and say, it's me that manifests the things that I have in my life. I take ultimate responsibility for my life, and I'm going to make things happen for me. If you start to have that belief and start to play with the belief, and I'm not saying believe it straight away, I'm not saying that, I'm not saying believe me, I'm just saying play around with it and see how you get on. See how you get on with the belief that you create your world, and everybody in your world comes to you for a reason. I've come to you for a reason today. That's my belief. You come to me, there's 3,500 viewers on just now, come to me for a reason today. That's my belief. You watching me just now, I've come to you for a reason. You've manifested me in your life for whatever reason. I don't know what that is, but it's you that's made this happen. And if you can come and play around with that belief, the world kind of suddenly opens up. The world becomes brighter, the world becomes more magical. And it's a beautiful state to be in. And it's not an easy state to be in, but it's a beautiful state to be in. So I'd like you to think about that today as you go through, just go through your normal day. Just think about, what if it was me that created that person walking by me on the street? What if it was me created something that happened in your life? What if that was all me? What was the reason behind it? Is it something to do with your own consciousness? And just ask the questions, ask the big questions throughout the day, and start to play around with the belief that you can manifest anything you want in your life. Don't be all shallow and say, okay, I want to be a millionaire. That's just kind of shallow thinking, but play around with the big philosophical idea that your world is literally created by you. The people in your world, everything you've got in your life has been created by you just now. Now, we're not talking about the past, because you had a different set of beliefs in the past. The past is the past. The past has gone up to make the now. The now is created to make your future. Your now is right this very second creating your future. And you can create a different future just by changing a few beliefs. So play around with the subjective reality belief and read more about it as well. So if you type into Google subjective reality, objective reality and solipsism, if you type that into Google, then read more about it and start to play around with the belief. And in fact, I would go to, who's a guy that I've read? David Bohm is a guy I've read. Steve Pavlina has got a lot of material on subjective reality as well. So I would go to there and try and find their work on Google as well. So that's my message for today. If you like this video, share this video just now. Just click on share it with your friends, and just say, this guy's amazing, or this guy's an arse, or whatever you want to do, but just share it anyway. Even if you think I'm talking rubbish, if you think I'm talking brilliantly and you think this is amazing stuff, you need to hear this, just share it as well, and leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. Now, obviously I can't get to every single comment. There's comments kind of scrolling through here just now, and there's no way I can get to every single comment, but I tried to go back and leave half an hour after the video just to kind of like the comments or kind of reply to a few of them. But if there's 1,500, 2,000 comments, it's impossible to go through. But I really want to thank you for listening to the videos. I want to thank you for being here today. And remember, it's me, or you've manifested me in your life, so you're really thanking yourself. So remember, everybody is you, because this is your reality. You created it. So everybody you meet in your life is you, is an extension of you. So there's nobody any different. There's only one consciousness. You created everything, and everybody is you. If you come to it from that point of view, the world would be a much better place. Because if you're kind of harming somebody else, you're really harming yourself. And that's what subjective reality, that's why it interests me so much as well. If we could all have this kind of subjective reality, the world would be a much, much better place. So that's my message for today. Let me know what you think, share this video and leave a comment. Namaste.